Hi, my name's Chris Fewtrell and I'm your Liberal Democrat candidate for South Staffordshire. Tonight, as we approach polling day, I want to talk about a key issue. Now, it's not an actual policy area, it's more important than that. It's something much more fundamental to the nature of the next government that we choose. Tonight, I want to talk to you about trust. Now, while a manifesto can offer a pretty good guide to a government's future programme, much of the actual business of government will be reactive. And what I mean by that is decisions made in the moment in response to events. In those situations, decisions will often come down to the character of a particular leader, to what drives them. Now I, as a voter, never mind as a candidate, want my Prime Minister to be guided by the national rather than party or personal interests. I want someone in Downing Street possessed of a moral compass, who's guided by what is right for us as a people, not by what is politically expedient. I want someone who will choose to do the right thing, even if in that moment it is the difficult thing. Nothing I've seen or heard from Boris Johnson, either as a journalist or in public life, inclines me to believe he is a man I can trust with my children's future. I've never known a Premier adopt such a cavalier approach to the truth, or to attach so little value to honesty as a virtue. I disagreed profoundly with Margaret Thatcher on many, many things, but I never doubted her personal integrity or her absolute conviction that what she was doing was in the service of the nation. Boris Johnson will do and say whatever is in the service of Boris Johnson. That much is clear. He lied repeatedly in his newspaper columns, was even sacked for it. He's lied repeatedly to those he claims to love. And yes, personal lives are relevant if they speak to a politician's essential character. He lied about £350 million a week for the NHS. He lied about using a vulgar expression in relation to a child abuse investigation, until shown footage of him actually doing it. He lied about Turkish accession to the EU during the Leave campaign. He even lied about lying about Turkish accession to the EU, until shown footage of himself doing it. He's lying now about getting Brexit done. It's an impossibility before December 2020, as we've seen in the Financial Times just this week, and as we know from the experience of countries like Canada, who spent 8 years trying to negotiate a trade deal with the EU. He's lying about 20,000 extra police officers, when in fact the Conservatives have cut 20,500 in their time in office. He's lying about 40 new hospitals, when in fact he's actually upgrading just 6 and paying for some very fancy blueprints and little else. Blueprints never cured anyone of anything. He's lying about 50,000 extra nurses, when 19,000 of them are already working within the NHS. He even allowed his party to masquerade as a fact-checking website. This is deceit on an industrial scale, the like of which we've never seen before in British politics. I've had people on the doorstep tell me that all politicians lie. I don't happen to think that's true, but I know this: no one in the office of Prime Minister has lied quite like Boris Johnson, so frequently, so easily, so casually, just to serve his interest in the very moment. He is a man who can deny a visit to a hospital as a press opportunity with a phalanx of press camera people behind him and a TV crew filming him saying it. Now that happened because his instinct, his default setting, was to say what suited him at the time and look the person in the eye as he said it. That is the man you will be voting for on Thursday if you vote for Gavin Williamson in South Staffordshire. You'll be voting for a post-truth government. You'll be voting for a sea change in the way our politics is conducted and our country is run. And I beg of you to think very carefully before you do that.